Will you marry me?
Well, of course, yes.
Yes.
I am really happy for Naeem because given everything he's been through with Chandra and this whole sort of experience and the way his mom felt about him entering the experiment, I'm happy that he was able to find what he was looking for. Even though the expert was not able to match him with someone compatible, he was able to find that person himself. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and a comment. So in this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Without Borders, season one, episode 10. This is the finale. It's sad it's come to an end, but anyway, it is what it is. So we start off with Shreyas and Gabby. They're at the beach. I think this relationship with Gabby has been a revelation for Shreyas in the sense that he's realized a different type of connection because his connection with Garland was never the right thing. I don't know why the expert felt they were a right match because they were very combative. It was always very argumentative. He felt like he was always having to defend himself or defend Gerlin from people. So I think it's been nice to have a connection whereby he's just laid back and he's just relaxed and he just allows things to flow as they should be. Gabby reminds him that her brother's getting married. She's the best woman, so she will be going back home earlier than expected because she needs to go and prepare for the wedding. And obviously, she does mention in her confessional that it's been very difficult for her being in Dubai, and it's made her realize how much she really misses her family and how much she wants to stay closer to home because apparently she always saw herself living internationally, but this experience has taught her that no, home is best for her. And so they go home after having the conversation that she will be going home and they will have a conversation of what happens next. Then we have Brian and Donna. I really don't understand this relationship. This relationship is one of the reasons why I said that they need to give these people an opt out and not wait after they've been through a month or so of going through all of this and for them to decide no. So Brian has a conversation with Donna where Donna expresses how she feels. Obviously, she has a list of grievances that she's had with Brian. This is why I think maybe a 2 weekly sort of meeting with the expert would be better for these couples so that the expert is able to sort of help them process what they're going through and ask them if they're still happy to go further. She lists, oh, you gave me a makeup remover kit, or the comment in the bar, and it's just Brian on his part is very dismissive. I don't know whether he knows this is how he comes across, but he comes across as very dismissive because he says she's very precious, and I didn't like their conversation. It was bordering on sort of verbal abuse, in my opinion. I might be wrong. I know abuse is a big word to use. Um, he says he did ask her about her boobs, to say, you have very big boobs. Are they real or fake? And to him, he doesn't see anything wrong with that. But obviously, it's not about how he feels about what he said, it's how the person he was saying it to received it. And I don't think he quite understands that bit. And so they don't reach any conclusion with that conversation. It was just a road to nowhere. I don't know why they felt the need to discuss it. I really don't, because they haven't been able to sort of go past, I think, the moment that she told Brian that she was in her mid 30s. I think he hasn't got over that, and he's been looking for a way to sort of turn her off or get rid of her. That's my opinion. Then we have Ori and Naeem go on a date. Naeem is so excited. She's stunning. She really is. Ori is very stunning. And Naeem mentions that he's fallen in love with Panama and he's happy that, this is what he had to go through in order to sort of find Ori, and he's happy. And she seems very relaxed and very laid back. She's a completely different woman to Chandra because she seems more laid back, drama free. She seems to really like him. I hope she really seems to really like him because of the way she's constantly being intimate with him. She's always, they're holding hands, they're kissing, they're looking at each other eye to eye. So I really like that about them, and I think it's because their backgrounds, even though they're from two different worlds, the fact that they both work with children, they both, have the same values and beliefs. I think this is one of the major things that has connected them. And Naeem is a totally different man. He's so excited, he's happy with her. I also really like how Ori is able to give positive affirmations towards Naeem, because it seemed that Chandra, she was always picking at his faults, whereas Ori is she enjoys his jokes, she enjoys the fact that he's very caring, she loves the fact that he's very godly, and they stand up and have this little cute dance, and it's like, oh my God, he's trying to, put it on her to show her that, he can do the work if needed. Anyway, and Philip. Cameron and Philip has just been drama and toxicity throughout. I know last week Philip was trying to tell Cameron that he would like sort of move forward in their relationship and become more romantic or more intimate, I think he was after. And Cameron sort of said, she doesn't see him in that light. She see him more as a friend and would rather have him as a friend than anything romantic. And so I don't know why she didn't say all this before. I don't know why she didn't say this before, because she complains that he's very childish. She's this, that is emotionally immature and stuff. And it's just like, it's a bit too late for you to say that. It's a bit too late. You should have said that before. You can't wait until, towards the end to say, oh, actually, this is how I feel. I think she knew she didn't like him and kept going through the process just because it would give her more airtime. I'm sorry to say that, and she really didn't find him, or she wasn't really romantically interested in him. I think from the first time they fell out and to the time they went out to the partying and she didn't come back. That's just my opinion. That after the conversation between Donna and Brian, Donna left and checked into a hotel, just because she felt Brian wasn't being empathetic and he wasn't caring towards her. And it's like, Brian and Donna were a bad match, really, because they come from two different worlds, and their way of delivery. Because Brian also has a conversation with the expert where she sort of, I think the expert was wrong. Yes, there's a way to relay information. I think she sounded more biased in how she addressed issues with Brian. I think she should have allowed him to speak, and then she should have sort of weighed in as an expert and sort of tried to speak to Brian in a way that he understood, because he then became defensive because she brought up, oh, you were laughing at the comments at the bar, you were bought a makeup remover, you this, that, and the other. And it's just, you, as an expert, try and be impartial, try and make both people feel they're being heard, and also try and make sure that you give constructive feedback instead of appearing as though you're taking sides and you're not willing to entertain what the other person is saying. That bit I didn't like. um we move on to Shreyas. I really feel bad for Shreyas in the sense that he was in this sort of combative relationship with Garland, and he went through a lot, and he was very quiet in that relationship because he was trying to be respectful and trying to make sure that he came across as caring, which is totally different to what Brian was doing. And because of that, Garland took advantage of him, and then they got him another match. And so with Gabby was totally opposite to that, and he really fell in love with that, I think, because she showed him a different type of partner. And so I think this is why he fell in love with her. So she is leaving, she gets the bags and goes to leave. You can tell he's really upset. And production are crazy. Why were they following him with the camera after she left? Were they trying to catch him crying? That wasn't necessary. That really wasn't necessary for them to follow him that much. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like that. And then we go back to Ghana. Philip tells Carmen that he's leaving, and she gets upset. Oh, how are we friends when you they were living more like they were housemates, or he was a guest in the sense that she was making sure he was comfortable, he was fed, his clothes were cleaned, and everything else. It didn't seem like they were there in a relationship. They rarely spent time together. They were always knocking on each other's doors, and it's like, what the hell is going on here? Have the two of you just agreed to continue with this thing so that you can get paid or you can get more sort of publicity, or what? You haven't done anything that's shown that you're a couple. All their conversations is either Carmen is cooked and then Philip comes to eat and they sit down and they have this confrontation and the same thing happens. And I didn't get why she was crying that, how could you just come and tell me that you're leaving? Well, what did you expect? You told him you wanted to be friends. He got in his feelings and decided to go back home. That's it. Why stay and drag it on with someone who's not interested in you for the reasons that you came down for? He came to find a romantic partner. She told him he's immature. He needs to grow up. He needs to get, to sort of work on himself before he can be in a relationship with someone. And she didn't see that with him. So why was she crying? I didn't get that. I didn't get I think that was just more for drama. I'm sorry, I'm not very sympathetic with Carmen and Philip. We have Donna and Brian. What the hell was Brian talking about? Microcosm of events and whatever. I didn't get that word salad. I didn't get that word salad. I think he just wrote something down because the last time he spoke to Donna, she had stuff written down, and he was just, getting his back up at, getting one up on her. And the fact that he offered to give her a hug, and it's like, dude, you're breaking up. Just shake hands and keep it moving. Just keep it moving. And you can see why at his age he's still single. You can see Donna, I think her wants are too complex for just anyone to deal with. And I think she'll need a special type of man to deal with her, the same way Brian will need a special type of woman with a lot of patience and compassion to deal with him. So they were definitely never a right match. I don't know what they put on their papers that made the expert feel it was right to match them. Um, Philip leaves Ghana after Kaman has had, that crying incident. And then we get to see Gabby having a conversation with Shreyas. Oh, she does tell Shreyas that she's not coming back to Dubai because she missed her family and she's decided to stay in New York. And so it's really sad, really, because I think Shreyas was expecting her to come back. As I said, I think he had fallen in love with her and he was expecting her to come back. And her telling him she wasn't coming back was really sad for him. You could see he was heartbroken, but I think he had prepared himself. I have a feeling that they had this conversation prior to being filmed. And so, well, I would like to think she did him the decency of sort of giving him a heads up that this is what I'm going to say once we start filming. And it's really sad that he had his hopes high and nothing like that happened. But it is what it is. I wish them all the best. So we get back to Ori and Naeem, and they go on their date. Once Naeem starts going into his speech, I'm like, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? And then he kneels down, and I'm like, please let her say yes. Please let her say yes. Let her not embarrass him on camera. And I'm so happy for them. I really am because of how Naeem's mom was very concerned about him going on this experiment, and the fact that he was able to find someone for himself. Ori comes across as a very loving and very caring woman and a very patient lady. So I hope Ori and his mother get along. They seem happy. Naomi is over the moon the minute she says she accepts his proposal. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that plays out. And then we get updates. So it turns out Gerlin is now dating a lady, and it seems she's very happy with her partner. She learned to put her guards down and find inner peace. And it's like, Shreyas, on his part, he is happy. He's decided to take time out to sort of get to know himself and to find what's important to him. I think the relationships that he's been have taught him a lot about the qualities that he's looking for in a woman, and I hope he finds the one. He's still very close to Gabby, so they still do talk quite a bit. She is, back in New York. She's still looking for her dream man, and she's still very close to Shreyas, as I've said, and she's planning on visiting him soon. She's excited. I think they'll make a great couple. I think they just need to sort out the issue of family because Shreyas has moved back in with his family. He's very close to his family. Gabby's very close to her family, so I think that's where they'll need to sort things out. Aaron apparently is dating somebody else. He's come back home. He's back to his family's business, and it's like, I don't know. I think he still has a lot of issues to deal with. With Mel, he's still single, although he's planning on moving apartments. And I really like him. I really hope he finds somebody. I really hope Mel finds somebody. If there's anyone I want the best for on this experiment, it's Shreyas and Mel, because I think they're two great guys, and it's sad that they were matched with people that weren't ready. Even Philip, I wish him all the best, really. I hope he finds someone. He's back to his celibacy, and he's working on his music and he's hoping to find someone, and he's just taking time to get to know himself, I think, for lack of a better word. So I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best. It's not surprising. um and he says he's no longer a germaphobe, and I'm like, okay. All right. I think the experience for him was great going to Ghana. Carmen, I don't think she was ready to love anyone. I think it was about the exposure. She doesn't look like someone who would have struggled to find a partner. And then Donna, apparently Donna, after leaving Brian, she then dated somebody else. It didn't work out. As I said, it will take a special type of man to want to take very good care of her heart because I think there's a lot of things going on there that will need sort of to be untangled before she can be in a happy relationship. Brian is still on his farm with his chickens. Apparently, he's got more chickens. And Chandra and Kaman for me, I think if we were to look at everybody, Chandra and Kaman, I think did it for publicity, if nothing else. I think they were not ready to find love. And last but not least, we find Ori and Naeem. And Naeem is bragging about his ring, and it's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I really love them. And Naeem apparently has moved to Panama and is currently saving up for their wedding. Oh my god. It's interesting. It's really interesting because he really fell in love with Panama. So I'm happy for him that he's found love and he's decided to move there to be close to the person that he loves. I really hope their relationship works out. It's interesting that Naeem found love outside of the experiment and everybody else in the experiment didn't. And it's like, what went wrong there? I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.